This is the first one that we about to react to. Let's check it out.
Well, he has the jersey on. Okay, hang on. He has the jersey on. You want me to sign it? Try to make it first.
This is for a signature.
The final detail that cannot be ignored is the production itself. Nike did not simply host Caitlin Clark. They staged an experience. A fully branded shooting court, employees competing for autographed merchandise, professional documentation for social media distribution. Every angle was designed for visibility. This was not a visit, it was a campaign. Nike has only done this at scale for a handful of athletes in its history. Michael Jordan famously had an entire building dedicated to his brand. The fact that Caitlin Clark is receiving similar levels of access and attention so early in her professional career speaks volumes about where Nike believes this is heading. But it also reveals concern. A signature shoe launch without an active league is a nightmare scenario. No highlights, no storylines, no weekly relevance. Just a product and a player waiting for stage. Nike is preparing for success, but they're also hedging against uncertainty. That duality explains the urgency behind everything we're seeing. Caitlin Clark is not just an athlete in this moment. She is a bridge between what women's basketball is and what it could become. And right now, Nike is building that bridge faster than the league is building stability.
That's hard. Here go another one. I don't think I seen this. Oh, this was Kaylee yesterday. So Caitlin definitely made it, bro.
Yep.
Wow.
Look closely at that moment, because it is far more revealing than it appears on the surface. This is not just a fan interaction, and it was certainly not a casual corporate visit. What we saw at Nike's Beaverton headquarters was Caitlin Clark standing at the center of a carefully constructed environment where employees were competing to hit logo shots just for the chance to earn her autograph. That kind of scene does not happen organically. It is designed. It is intentional. And most importantly, it sends a message. Nike does not create these moments for every athlete. In fact, the list of players who have received this level of internal celebration is extremely short. This was not LeBron James' style respect, where dominance is acknowledged after years of professional success. This was closer to the Michael Jordan model, where belief precedes achievement. Nike is not reacting to Caitlin Clark's resume. They are acting on her projected impact. What makes this moment even more significant is the timing. The WNBA is currently frozen in labor uncertainty, with negotiations stalled and the future of upcoming seasons unclear. While the league struggles to define its next move, Nike is aggressively building around one player. That contrast matters. It tells you that Nike is not waiting on the league to solve its problems. They are hedging against instability by anchoring their investment to an individual brand they believe can transcend the sport itself. This level of confidence is unprecedented in women's basketball. There have been superstars before, champions before, icons within the game. But there has never been this kind of early, large-scale corporate commitment built around anticipation rather than accomplishment. Nike is laying foundations, not celebrating milestones. That is the difference. When a global brand with decades of athlete partnership experience commits resources at this scale, it means they have already studied the numbers. They have seen the rating spikes, the merchandise movement, the cultural engagement, and the social traction. And they have concluded that Caitlin Clark is not just a WNBA player. She is a long-term cultural asset. In moments like this, the story is not about basketball. It is about leverage, projection, and belief. Nike has made it clear. Regardless of what happens with league negotiations, they are all in on Caitlin Clark.
Bro, this jacket, nice. I can't even lie. I don't even think this is out yet. This ain't out yet. This CC Nike jacket is out. That's probably going to be like $300-400. I ain't going to lie to you. That look premium. That look real premium there. Now, this is a picture here of Caitlin Clark first coming in.
That jacket Caitlin Clark wore during her Nike visit is not just unreleased merchandise. It is a strategic preview. Custom CC branding, premium materials, and limited run design all point to a product intentionally positioned at the high end of the market. When it officially drops, it will likely retail at a minimum of $300 and sell out almost immediately. Nike understands scarcity economics better than anyone, and this piece was designed to signal demand before supply even exists. But again, timing is everything. The WNBA is currently dealing with a labor stoppage, with negotiations stalled and no guaranteed season calendar in place. This is not just inconvenient for players. It is potentially catastrophic for sponsors. And Caitlin Clark, more than any other athlete, sits at the center of that risk. Nike is preparing to launch her full signature shoe line in the spring. This is not a player edition or a special colorway. This is a true signature sneaker, the kind reserved for athletes expected to define an era. That type of launch requires games, highlights, storylines, and visibility. It needs a stage, and that stage is the WNBA season. If the 2026 season does not happen, Nike is left with a massive marketing investment and nowhere to deploy it. No live games to showcase the product. No weekly highlights to build narrative momentum. No playoff runs to attach emotional value to the shoe. Hundreds of millions of dollars would be tied to an athlete without an active competitive platform. This explains why Nike's involvement feels unusually aggressive right now. They are not simply supporting Caitlin Clark. They are protecting their investment. Every appearance, every branded moment, every controlled media release helps maintain visibility in the absence of games. Nike is effectively keeping her brand warm while the league remains cold. This situation exposes an uncomfortable reality. Caitlin Clark needs the WNBA season almost as much as the WNBA needs Caitlin Clark. The league provides legitimacy and structure. Nike provides scale and amplification. If either side falters, the other absorbs the damage. The jacket, then, is not just fashion, it is a signal flare. Nike is saying they're ready. The question is whether the league can keep up.
All that they got for Caitlin Clark, got her logo on them. They probably gonna start selling these too. I just love Caitlin Clark logo, man. It looked like a premium designer brand logo. I don't think anybody else in basketball got a logo like this. Now, granted, some people say it looked like the Chanel or the Gucci logo, but to me, it's a staple logo. You know, it's a unisex logo. Somebody said really loved the
The CC logo itself tells you almost everything you need to know about Nike's long-term strategy. It is clean, balanced, and intentionally neutral. It does not scream basketball. It does not rely on aggressive shapes or sports imagery. It could easily appear on sneakers, handbags, watches, or even luxury accessories without looking out of place. Most athlete logos are clearly tied to their sport. They work on jerseys but fail outside that context. Caitlin Clark's branding was designed to escape that limitation from day one. Nike saw the college ratings explosion, the merchandise sales, and the cultural crossover appeal, and they made a calculated decision. This athlete can sell products to people who do not care about the WNBA standings. That realization changes everything. It means Nike's investment is not dependent on league performance alone. Even during a labor stoppage, even during uncertainty, Caitlin Clark's brand remains viable. Nike continuing to invest during this period is proof that they are doubling down, not pulling back. This is also why the scale of production matters. Custom courts, branded environments, and internal competitions are not cheap. Nike would not allocate those resources unless they believed the return justified the cost. These are long-term plays, not short-term experiments. Nike is betting that Caitlin Clark will be culturally relevant regardless of wins, losses, or league politics. That is an extraordinary vote of confidence.
Wow, look, it says Caitlin Clark logo, cookies to coffee to shooting in Duncan on CC logo backgrounds. Nike WHQ is dripped out with CC stuff. I ain't lying, man. We ain't seen nothing like this since Michael Jordan came, bro. Nike, like, people was feeling the type of way about Nike, man, but Nike is showing out for Caitlin, dog. I don't even think they did all this shit for LeBron. I just gotta be honest, man. They is showing out.
One of the most revealing details from Caitlin Clark's Nike visit was the branding itself. The mini basketball she received featured her CC logo, a design that many have already compared to luxury fashion houses like Chanel or Gucci. That comparison is not accidental. Nike did not design a traditional sports logo for Clark. They designed a lifestyle emblem. This distinction matters. A basketball-specific logo limits an athlete's market to fans of the sport. A clean, abstract, luxury-adjacent logo expands that market dramatically. Nike is not trying to sell Caitlin Clark only to people who watch women's basketball. They are trying to sell her to people who may never watch a single game. Everything about the event reinforced that strategy. Custom tote bags, premium promotional materials, carefully curated backdrops, and minimalist design choices all pointed toward upscale positioning. This is how global brands build cultural figures, not just athletes. It is the same framework used to elevate Jordan from a basketball player into a global icon. Nike understands that Caitlin Clark's value lies not just in her shooting ability, but in her accessibility. Her game is visually exciting. Her story is easy to follow. Her image is marketable across age groups, genders, and casual audiences. That combination is rare. By framing her brand as lifestyle first rather than sport first, Nike is future-proofing their investment. Even if league structures change, her brand remains flexible. Shoes, apparel, accessories, and collaborations can exist independently of game schedules. This approach also explains why Nike is comfortable accelerating her brand before she has even completed a full WNBA season. They are not waiting for accolades. They are shaping perception early. Once perception is established, performance becomes reinforcement rather than requirement. This is how icons are built, not by reacting to success, but by assuming it.